What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Visage, and we're returning to the 1980 self-titled album. Thank you again to Mark. And the next song is Tar, which is a single-word title. Those are tough to get a read on, and tar being the decayed or broken down result of organic or carbon-based compounds, and thus former plant material, even animals, will eventually break down into petroleum or tar. So I imagine there could be some figurative meaning there. Of course, we all know that a British tar is a soaring soul, so maybe there's something on that end of the word's meaning. Nevertheless, I will be on the lookout to catch what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is Visage. The tune is Tar, and it's from their 1980 self-titled album. I've no doubt the whole song was composed and written, and yet, especially in the latter stages, it really has this feel of like kind of a live jam on keyboards, and the way that, what's the right word? Not organ, didn't have like an organ sound, but it wasn't like a true piano sound either. It wasn't harpsichord, but yeah, the kind of jangly keyboard line at the end, it was like he was just kind of improvising as it went along. and I enjoy that dragging, stretching synth sound. There was a more like theremin style synth in the middle of the track. It was a bit wavy, and then we have our saxophone, which of course I'm always keen to hear. And it's interesting, right? Like thinking about, how much good 80s music has really swanky and compelling saxophone, maybe some more memorable than other in terms of the specific saxophone lines in question. But it seems like at some point in the 90s there was this collective thought among excuse me, producers and bands that, the saxophone isn't cool anymore. Let's leave it behind. So yes, I'm glad that the saxophone, at least among some people in modern times, has seemingly made a bit of a comeback. But yeah, it seemed to be ubiquitous in the 80s, and it like just drops off a cliff at some point. But yeah, so like a really edgy, angular, and electronic style tune here. And I should have thought in advance, one of the usages of tar is indeed in relation to cigarettes, or the low tar, high tar, how addictive they can be. And indeed, like nicotine, it is very addiction, as the song says. And I enjoyed the kind of intensity of those vocals in the chorus. But yeah, so it seems that it is on some level about the addictive qualities, which, just as a little personal anecdote here, I smoked cigarettes for a very short period of time. It was like my late teens to like my early 20s, and then I just walked away cold turkey, as they say, which I'm very happy about, which is not a slight to anyone who smokes. But yeah, it became to the point where I was like, should I be worried about like being caught on this in a more physiological sense? And I was able to walk away. Now obviously I still have my addictions, my slightly caffeinated flavored water that is tea. But yes, I feel like maybe this is a critical take on addiction to nicotine and tar as it relates to cigarettes, but maybe that having, a broader interpretation, the idea of it being indicative of like an addictive personality or something like that. But yeah, there's also some visuals, like the idea of nicotine stains and so on. So I wonder if like it's also a character portrait. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, very innovative and dynamic for a tune from 1980s. So I'm hoping this is on YouTube. You might be seeing this on Patreon. I'm still cognizant that the, what was it, Blocks Upon Blocks or Blocks on Blocks, that one got blocked, which I guess there's an irony there. But yeah, that one had to be over on Patreon. So if you've only been following the Visage reactions here on YouTube, there's one missing from this album. That's because it couldn't be on YouTube, and it's over on my Patreon. In any case, thank you again to Mark. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.